Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We appreciate you tuning in on a Thursday. You know, today, instead of having a guest, we're going to do a second scoop of the day. Usually, I've got a guest, and I had a person lined up for today. It didn't work out, so we're going to have them later in the week or maybe next week. But going to get a second scoop on a Thursday. That just doesn't seem right, does it?
Alrighty.
It's going to be fun. It's all on the way. Also, thieves in Switzerland stole 4 paintings by artists like Van Gogh and Monet, worth, these again, 4 paintings, $163 million.
Whoa.
I need to get in the painting business, and then I need to die, and then my stuff will be worth some money. So, isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
4 paintings worth $163 million. I've got some paintings. Mine might be worth 163 cents, maybe. Fluffy, that's your nickname that your dad calls you. Why does he call you Fluffy, by the way?
You know this story. I've told you this story a million times.
Well, but explain. People who maybe hear him on Tuesdays and wonder, why does he say, bye, Fluff, bye, John? Why does he call you Fluffy?
When I was a little kid, I had 2 friends.
Oh, we're all out of time.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead and tell me. I'm being silly.
I had these 2 friends. He called us Fifi, Fluffy, and Fufu, and we were the Butt Sisters. So it's been my nickname since I was a little girl. And
well, there's another person with the nickname Fluffy, and it's not a person. It's a 24-foot python, the largest snake in captivity, and is going to staying put to lure visitors to the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. So if you want to see a 24-foot python, there were talks that it was not going to be at the zoo anymore, but it's staying put. Fluffy will be there, 24 feet of Fluffy at the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium.
Crazy.
Coming up, we got some special things happening today. We'll tell you all about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
what is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday, May the 12th. It is International Day for Chronic Immunological and Neurological Diseases. Whew. I struggled on that one. It's also Odometer Day today. So go out and see how many miles are on your car. I always like it when it gets to like a milestone, like all 2s or something like that.
I know you do. You're a weirdo.
I'm like, hey guys, everybody look, coming up. It's going to flip over. I don't know why. My dad got excited about that, and I came by it honest. I do too. It's also International Nurses Day. It is Limerick Day, National Nutty Fudge Day, Fibromyalgia and Chronic Fatigue Syndrome Awareness Day today as well. I think the only way to celebrate today is by having some nutty fudge.
I'm not a huge fudge fan, but if I am going to eat fudge, it's got to have nuts in it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of fudge with nuts. But again, I've never ever said, I could go for some
use
fudge
some
right
fudge.
now. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
If somebody offers it to me, I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. All right, coming up, we got some more fun stuff on a Thursday.
Do you like fun t-shirts? Our friends at 80s Tees have a bunch of fun designs from the movies and pop culture. This month, we're giving you a chance to win a $25 credit to buy the t-shirt you like, with designs from Star Wars, Superman, Ghostbusters, Deadpool, and hundreds of others. Sign up to win a $25 credit. Register for free right now at winthisonline.com. We will select 2 winners at the end of this month. You could be one of them, but only if you register at winthisonline.com.
And you know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Prepare to be freaked out. Your private thoughts may soon not be so private, Heidi. Scientists from Japan and some people in the United States have figured out how to read a person's mind by remotely measuring brain activity, extracting information of which the subject is not even aware. The study findings were published in the Journal of Nature Neuroscience. So far, it's pretty rudimentary stuff. In the mind-reading machine, it can only identify visual patterns as a volunteer can see or has chosen to look at. So like if they look at a square, they can see on this thing a pattern of a square. If they look at a circle, they can see a pattern of a circle. So that's what they're able to do now. But researchers are hopeful that this approach will eventually probe into a person's awareness of focus, of attention, and memory. I think maybe you just leave our brains alone for a while.
Yeah, I think they may be overreaching
what
just
are they
a
doing
bit.
in there?
Yeah.
Why do you want to know what I'm thinking? If you want to know what I'm thinking, ask me what I'm thinking. That works for me. If you want to know what Heidi's thinking, ask.
You don't
and
even
good
have
luck.
to ask.
No.
I'll tell you what I'm thinking.
You'll be upset with me. I'm like, what's going on? Nothing. Are you okay? I'm fine. I'm like, that doesn't
Oh,
sound
please.
like
When
you're
you
fine.
ask, you already know. Don't even pretend. Whenever you ask me that, I'm usually like, really? You're going to ask me that?
We're married. We've been married a long time. Kids, someday when you get married, you'll understand what we're talking about. But it's fun stuff. And I had a guy in here the other day who said, how in the world can you work with your wife? I mean, how could you guys like be married together and work together? And I said, I love my wife. I love hanging out with her all day long. I said, but you should ask her how she can work with me. You'll get a completely different answer. Anyway, some days I think it would be nice if I had the technology to read what your brain is saying. Because right now I think your brain is saying, shut up and move on. Am I right?
Yes.
See, I don't even need this thing. All I know is this little brain that reads your mind, that they're working on Japan and United States. It really is happening. And you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain. And this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. If you're planning on being a successful drug dealer, it's probably not a good idea to hand out business cards advertising that you're a drug dealer. Drug dealers in Kansas City made it really easy for the cops. They gave them their phone number and everything. They were handing out business cards to kids.
Oh, my God.
The alleged drug dealers were handing out business cards embossed with the slogan, Done Deal Enterprises. One of the cards featured a photo of a fistful of cash, and another had a picture of a marijuana leaf.
Oh, my gosh.
Both cards gave the same phone number. Police called the number and set up an undercover buy. If convicted, the two men arrested could face up to 10 years in prison.
If convicted, that's a slam dunk.
You'd think so. You just never know. Somebody might come up with some way to get them off the hook on that. But
Wow.
yeah, that's not the smartest thing to do right there. I remember a guy that was selling dime bags, whatever that is, but he had a cardboard sign that said dime bags, and a police officer in the uniform walked up and said, how much are the dime bags? And he told him, and then he arrested the guy. I was like, wow, just not that smart. All right, that's your brain on drugs, kids.
John and Heidi.
Just because you're a police officer does not necessarily mean that you're above committing a moment of duh. Florida Police Lieutenant Robert Musco recently sent out a memo stating that each officer should give a minimum of 2 UTCs, which are uniform traffic citations, per shift. But then he qualified the statement by saying, not in quotas, which are illegal. So he's saying you should...
You have a quota, but we can't call it a quota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a quota of at least 2, but this is not a quota because quotas are illegal.
Ha.
So... What is this exactly?
Right, exactly.
I remember my father was a policeman when I was a little kid. He told me a story about city council in my hometown, and they were saying there were people, whoever it was, mayor, somebody was complaining that there weren't enough tickets. Everybody was giving warnings, and they said there should be more tickets. Anyway, that person who said that got pulled over the very next day by my father, who was a policeman at the time, and he got a ticket. Sorry, I'm not able to write you a warning anymore. I got to give you a ticket. So I thought that was pretty funny. All right, coming up, we've got your scoop of the day, and later in the program, a second scoop today. We got it all on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
The scoop of the day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. I first of all got to say I have never ever been invited to the Met Gala. Have you ever been invited, Heidi?
I don't even know what it is.
It's
so
a big,
clearly I have not.
It's a big honkin' deal that happens every year at the Met in New York, and it's people get all dressed up, and it's a really fancy thing. But it's the Met Gala. But still riding high. Celebs are sharing photos now from the event, and Nicki Minaj was no exception. She shared a photo of herself with Jeremy Scott and Demi Lovato. However, it seems like Minaj believed only Scott was worthy of being tagged in the photo. In response, Demi Lovato aired out her grievances with the media, and the Met Gala photo went viral. The Stone Cold singer took to Twitter to express her feelings, saying she had never done anything wrong to Minaj. But for whatever reason, she didn't get tagged in the photo. And
Who cares?
I was going to say, they've made such a big deal of this
Tag
now.
yourself in the photo.
Yeah.
Who cares?
So I don't know why she even cares so much, but apparently it was a big honking deal, and she wasn't too happy about it. A Florida man is in trouble after allegedly stealing a $1,500 dog from a pet shop and then trading the dog for crack.
Oh.
$1,500 dog? Our dogs were free, weren't they? How much were
No.
Oh, how much were our dogs?
Miley was free. Mandy we paid for.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I remember that Miley was free because they offered her to us because nobody wanted her, and she is adorable.
She's so sweet.
She is. She's a special needs dog, though, but she is absolutely adorable, isn't she?
She is.
After being pulled over on suspicion of reckless driving, Florida police officer from Delray Beach asked a guy for his driver's license. Instead, he said, well, I don't have a license on me, but here's my rap CD. He handed him a homemade rap CD.
Oh, my gosh.
It's got my name right there. Skid Mark. I don't know what his name was. Scientists in North Korea claim they've invented an alcoholic beverage that does not cause hangovers.
Oh.
So there you go. But, again, this is coming from North Korea. They also claim that their supreme leader in North Korea is, world record holder of everything. So I don't know if you believe that. An Australian woman went to get a drink from the fridge recently and discovered a venomous snake looking out from underneath of it. The snake was pregnant and later laid 15 eggs. Oh. So that's what's happening in Australia.
Yeah. No, thank you.
I don't think I'd like to go to Australia. I would. I'd love to go there, but I would be really afraid. There's so many stories about crazy stuff like this.
Yeah.
A gigantic snake under her refrigerator.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun to me.
A study finds that sleeping over 9 hours a night can help obese people lose weight. So I need to get more sleep. 9 hours a night. I'm not even close. A recent study by the Institute for Research on Gambling Disorders shows that more than 70% of Americans between the ages of 14 and 19 are estimated to have gambled online in the last year. Federal law says an individual must be at least 21 to gamble in the U.S., but that is not deterring teenagers from doing this online. So I didn't know you could gamble online. Mm-hmm. That's legal? Yeah. I didn't know that was legal. How does that work? How do they check your ID and stuff? They just say type in your birth date?
Yeah.
Okay. And one final story here. Nearly 60% of workers surveyed admitted to experiencing road rage while traveling to work or from work. Again, 60%. 1 in 10 report they usually experience road rage during their daily commute. So 1 in 10 say every day. Others say, yeah, I have that happen once in a while. For me, it would fall into the once in a while category. It hasn't been for a while. I don't have road rage a whole lot lately. I remember for a while.
You used to. Good Lord.
It was. We had a drive where there were just a bunch of people all leaving at the same time.
It was awful riding with you. I didn't. Like, oh my gosh.
I didn't like living there. I was like, we need to move because I can't handle this. All right, you ready for strange law?
Ready.
In Florida, it is illegal to skateboard without a license. Yeah, that's a strange law. This has been your scoop of the day. We've got a second scoop on the way.
Do you like fun t-shirts? Our friends at 80s Tees have a bunch of fun designs from the movies and pop culture. This month, we're giving you a chance to win a $25 credit to buy the t-shirt you like. With designs from Star Wars, Superman, Ghostbusters, Deadpool, and hundreds of others. Sign up to win a $25 credit. Register for free right now at winthisonline.com. We will select 2 winners at the end of this month. You could be one of them, but only if you register at winthisonline.com.
Now your second scoop of the day, which is kind of weird to have a second scoop today, isn't it?
It is.
Usually we have guests, and like I said, I had one lined up, but it didn't work out, so we have to just kind of pitch that one maybe a little bit later in the month here. So speaking of pitchers, New York Mets pitcher Bartolo Colon became the oldest Major League Baseball player to finally hit his first home run. He's just a few days away from turning 43, and he got his first home run.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's almost my age, and I guarantee I couldn't hit a home run. So, hey, police were summoned to a squirt gun battle. That doesn't happen often. An unusually intense fight with squirt guns brought the police to an Oakville, Ontario, Canadian neighborhood. They had some stern words with a group of teenage girls, believe it or not. They were playing what's often called the assassin game. It's with squirt guns. It's fought with squirt guns, often in large public places over extended periods of time, but area residents who didn't know that were alarmed to see people in black hoods and ski masks brandishing what looked like weapons. So they were playing.
I was wondering what the problem was, but if they look like they're causing problems, that's where the issue comes in.
So the girls were playing game. It was girls, which is funny because you'd expect that out of a bunch of young boys, but it was a bunch of girls playing with squirt guns, and the police had to be called because they thought there was something else going on. So I'm glad that something else wasn't going on. McDonald's announced last week they've been testing out garlic fries at a couple of different locations in the San Francisco area, and now apparently they're gone. They say they're out of Gilroy garlic fries, and they will be for the next few weeks. Gilroy, California is the garlic capital of the world, by the way. That's why they decided to test them out there.
I love garlic, but I got to say, I think McDonald's should just leave their fries alone.
The fries are good. The chain previously said if the test run goes well, the Gilroy garlic fries would be expanded to all 250 Bay Area McDonald's locations. So saying if it goes well here, then they'll be all over the San Francisco area. How about the rest of the country? No word whether that's going to happen or not. Wacky but true story. Frustrated by his TV show, police in Russia were called Sunday night after a resident reported that a man had fired off a gun in his backyard.
Whoa!
They arrived and found a very drunk man with a shotgun hidden behind his sofa. Officers questioned the man about why he had fired the gun. The man said, "I was very frustrated with my children and my marriage and my job and the way my favorite TV show ended."
Wow. That's extreme.
That was the final straw right there. All this other stuff. Oh, Sunday night when they ended my TV show the way they ended it, I was mad. It doesn't even say what the show is, but I'd like to know, wouldn't you?
It's probably not something we get here.
No, this happened in Russia. I'd kind of like to at least know what was so bad. For many Facebook users around the world, and might even just be the entire internet, some new info suggestions that a number of webgoers around the world report that Facebook... what the heck am I trying to say?
I have no idea. So I'm trying to follow along, but you're making it very difficult.
I'm going to try that whole thing again. Pretend like I didn't say any of that.
Okay, all right.
For many users around the world, Facebook might as well be the entire internet. There we go. That's what I meant to say. Some new info suggests a number of webgoers around the world report they use Facebook, but nothing else on the internet. 11% of the survey participants in Indonesia report that while they do use Facebook, they do not use the internet. So they use Facebook and Facebook alone. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
I don't know what I was...
That made more sense.
My mouth wasn't working with me, though. It's because I got a second scoop today. I mean, this just never happens.
Throwing you off.
Hey, the answer is simple. When you can issue parking tickets to those who aren't even parked, maybe that's not good. Police in Norway handed a woman hopelessly stuck in rush hour traffic a $73 parking ticket.
What?
The judge in the case was outraged at the audacity of the officer and ordered the police department to pay the woman $585 in court costs. So, yeah.
Well, good for her.
She was stuck in traffic, and she was, according to the officer, blocking something that she shouldn't have been blocking. She was in traffic. She was driving.
Right. How can I move?
Yeah, so anyway, she didn't have to pay her ticket, and they did have to pay her court costs. Shannon Page Morphus has been charged with armed robbery of the First State Bank in Rivers, Tennessee. Here's what she did with the money. She went to the court with the money from the robbery and paid off about $1,100 in bad checks.
Wow.
Then she wired $575 to some company in Georgia. She was behind payments on her trailer there. So that's why she robbed the bank, to get caught up with her court fees.
Yeah, there's a whole stream of good decisions there.
Oh, that's going to work out for her. Probably not good. All right, that's going to do it for your second scoop. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In the southern hemisphere, summer begins in December.
Okay.
How crazy is that? Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
If an animal is a limnivore, they eat mud.
Oh.
Yeah, limnivore. Not an herbivore, not a carnivore. A limnivore eats mud. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The comic book title Superman is older than the comic book title Batman. Action comic number 1 came out June 1938, introduced the world of Superman back in 38. Batman was a bit younger, though. He came out a year later in May of 1939. So there you go. So if Batman and Superman are really ever against each other, you'll know Batman would not win because he's the younger one, right?
Right.
Is that how it works?
He doesn't
out?
have as much experience.
I don't know. Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Ulysses S. Grant is buried in Grant's tomb. So if anybody asks, now you know. And for bonus points, you could say his wife is there too. So there you go. A couple of fun facts for you on a Thursday.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by RadioReallyWorks.com. I know you're listening to a podcast, but did you know the John and Heidi Show is also a radio show? And for those of you who have businesses, you should consider using radio to advertise your business. We can even help you create some catchy little jingles or amazing radio ads that will help pull people in. Get all the details or just learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. This next story, I'm not sure if I want to read this. Here's a headline. Snoring makes you stupid.
Oh.
We're both in trouble. Snoring can not only be annoying, it can actually make you less intelligent. A German clinic explaining how snoring can be stopped through minor surgery cited in a study, they cited a U.S. study, which showed that in addition to being an irritating habit, snoring kills off brain cells by depriving your body of oxygen. The study found that snorers perform the worst in tests of intelligence and speed of reaction and visual coordination. The clinic said that laser surgery could solve the problem by cutting away the tissue to allow a patient to breathe more freely while sleeping. So they're saying they can laser zap something off of you so you don't snore. Would you like to have that done?
No.
Would you like me to have that done?
No.
Does my snoring bother you?
No.
Your snoring doesn't bother me. Your snoring's a lot cuter than my snoring. Unless, of course, you've been drinking heavily. Your snoring's not so good then. I'm like, what is going on over there? I don't exactly know what happens. Drunk Heidi snores really loud. My beautiful bride over here, she likes to have a drink once in a while. And
Drunk Heidi is just loud in general.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So anyway, we could have a surgery done. And that would go
No,
away.
I'm good.
I got a feeling, even if you had the surgery, I got a feeling Drunk Heidi would still snore. I don't know why I get that feeling. I just think that's what would happen. Pretty darn sure. Anyway, if you do have somebody that snores in your household and it does bother you, they say they can do a surgery where they zap you with a laser. I don't know if I'd be ready to have that done. There are so many other things you can do that don't require surgery. There are a lot of other options before you get to that. I'm just not sure if I'd go and have you, okay, zap me with the laser. Let's make the snoring go away.
No, I'm good.
Problem with me is it'd work, but then I would also sound like Mickey Mouse for the rest of my life. What happened? I don't snore anymore, but this is what I sound like now. All right, hey, if you want to live to be 100 years old, listen up. We got some advice from you from people who are over 100 years old.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
For some reason, I don't think I'm going to make it to 100.
I know I won't make it to 100.
I'll be lucky to hit 50, I think. Anyway, if you would like to live to be 100 years old, here are some tips from 25 men and women that are between the ages of 101 and 126. Number 1, never go to bed angry at anyone, especially yourself or your spouse. So if you're upset about something, they say, hey, just, you know what? Call and say, let's make up. I want to go to sleep. I don't want to have this on. Let's get rid of it. If you smoke or drink, don't fret about it. Just be sure to eat right and get some exercise to maintain the best possible health. This isn't my advice. This is from people that made it over 100 years. Never, ever, ever get on an airplane. Okay? They say don't drive at night. That's another tip. Try to do something nice for everybody every single day. So somebody else deserves something nice every day. Do something nice for somebody every day. Don't let others get under your skin. More advice from people over 100 if you want to live to be 100. Have lots of children and enjoy them. Next, don't worry needlessly about money. Take time out to relax. And the last on the list is never second guess yourself. If you make a decision, act on it and forget about it. Move on to other things. Don't fret over, oh, should I or shouldn't I? Just move on.
Right.
Take a deep breath and just, enjoy life. And you might live to be 100 years old like these men and women that gave us that advice.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening on a Thursday. Last weekend was Mother's Day on Sunday, and I thought this might be a perfect time to talk about this. Students at a certain private and very pricey private school in New York were being informed that because some children are being raised by same-sex couples, Mother's Day is now banned at school.
Oh, my God.
Don't worry, though. In the interest of all fairness, Father's Day is also a no-no of children who attend Rodeo Sholem Day School in New York. They didn't find out about the new policy until their children showed up at home with a note tucked in their book bags last week. That they were told there's no such thing as Mother's Day anymore, and there's no such thing as Father's Day anymore, because we don't want to offend somebody, this less than 1% that don't celebrate those things.
This is so sad.
I just don't understand that. Here's the thing. As for me and my household, we're going to celebrate Mother's Day. Well, we already did. We're going to celebrate Father's Day, and if you don't like it, then don't celebrate it, period. Why does that offend anybody? I'm not telling you what you can and can't celebrate, so don't tell me what I can and can't celebrate. I think the school system there has gone way too far. So there you go. I'll get off my, what is this thing called again?
Soapbox.
I'll get off of this thing, and we'll get back to some silliness coming your way in a bit.
Do you like fun t-shirts? Our friends at 80s Tees have a bunch of fun designs from the movies and pop culture. This month, we're giving you a chance to win a $25 credit to buy the t-shirt you like, with designs from Star Wars, Superman, Ghostbusters, Deadpool, and hundreds of others. Sign up to win a $25 credit. Register for free right now at winthisonline.com. We will select 2 winners at the end of this month. You could be one of them, but only if you register at winthisonline.com.
Got some disturbing news for you, Heidi.
Oh, okay.
They can find out your social security number by knowing your birth date. I'm not sure how. It says we all know how to give we all know not to give out our social security number on social networking sites and websites, but new research indicates that it is possible to determine 1 out of every 10 social security numbers knowing only a place of birth and a date of birth. In states with lower numbers of births, the odds are even better. So if you come from a small place like me, born in the sticks, chances are probably even better odds. Study points out that birth information can be found on numerous social networking sites or purchased cheaply for almost every adult in the United States. That is the one thing that concerns me about social media. I see people putting things on there that maybe they shouldn't put on there. I'm one of these people. But it says birth information can be found on social sites, so it'll tell you right on there, where were you born, when were you born, all that info. So saying if I can find out when you were born and where you were born, I can wink, wink, guess what your social security number is, because all of that information apparently is chronological or something. I'm not sure how that works. So does that make any sense to you?
It makes perfect sense to me.
Does that concern you at all?
No, nobody would want my information anyway. So
somebody stole my credit once, and they gave me a better credit score. Thank you for doing that.
Pay me to take it back. So
I don't want to be you anymore. Well, I didn't want to be me either, but that's who I am. So there you go. Don't give out your birth date or your birth location. That's something that I'm going to go onto my profile right now and change.
There you go.
I'm going to put for my birth date, none of your business. You know the other thing that'd be nice about that? Every year on my birth date, I get so many messages.
That's nice, though.
Oh,
I
man,
like
it's
that.
nice, but then I feel obligated to go on and say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and I'm like, I got a cramp. Thank you.
Just write one at the end of the day. Thank you, everyone, for all of the birthday wishes.
That's not who I am. I try to thank everybody individually.
So weird.
It's just a lot of thank yous. You don't need to thank. You don't need to wish me a happy birthday. As a matter of fact, I think every year, like a week before my birthday, I'm going to just close my profile for about a week and then turn it back on. Coming up, we do have some good news. That is on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think we've got some today, Heidi. Trey Potter is an 18-year-old high schooler who decided to bring his mom, Mel Rowe Potter, as his date to senior prom.
Didn't we talk about this?
I don't think so. This, I believe, is a different one.
Oh, you
Mel
always
Rowe,
say that when I call you on the exact
no,
same
but
story.
I think this is a different one because the other one I think was a completely different scenario.
Okay.
Mel Rowe gave birth to Trey when she was only 16.
Uh-huh.
She had grown up in 23 different foster homes, and she did not want that for her son. So she, though she was homeless at the time of his birth, Mel Rowe did everything she could to give Trey a happy life. This meant missing out on high school events, including prom. Trey said, she never had that experience, and she's risked so much throughout my life and made so many sacrifices that I thought it would be the right thing to do. So his mom, who again was only 16 when he was born, and he's 18, so she's not 16 now. She'd be 16 plus 18, whatever that is.
That, yeah.
You still think this is the same story?
It's the exact same story.
As I was reading it, I think it is too. I was hoping that you would have forgotten that in the middle.
It's still good news like it was last time, but
I was trying to add in some details that might throw you off. Threw in some math and everything. Heidi, what's 16 plus 18? Quick. Oh, dang it. I think I did. Anyway, there's more to the story now. And I have a link to a video the whole story online if you want to read the whole thing. And I'll put that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Did I put it there last time too?
I don't think you did last time.
I don't think so either. I think last time it was just like a headline that said, an 18-year-old took his mom to prom. I think that's all we had last time. Anyway, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. I'll try to have all news stories for tomorrow. How's that sound? That'd be nice. That'd be really nice.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
And your bonus break is brought to you by our good friends at WinThisOnline.com. You can go there to win all kinds of cool stuff. As a matter of fact, one of the things you can win right now is they've got some really neat things from 80stees.com. They've got T-shirts, they've got sweatshirts and hoodies and all kinds of stuff. And instead of them picking out a shirt saying, I hope you like this, instead they said, hey, you get a $25 credit to buy whatever you want.
That's pretty cool.
And there's a lot of neat stuff on there.
It's a very cool site.
They have a lot of cool fun shirts from the 80s, like any movie you can think of from the 80s, Rocky and all that kind of stuff. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which we're going to. Can you believe that's next week already?
I know, it's
Holy
crazy.
Cow. It's in the theaters this Sunday and next Wednesday, so we got some cool Ferris Bueller gear to wear to that. And they also have a lot of superhero gear as well. And on the page, we just gave away a book called Captain America versus Iron Man. So congratulations. I'm not sure who the winner was, but I think they got the email this morning. And speaking of Captain America, by the way, the website, if you'd like to win some of that stuff, WinThisOnline.com. Now, speaking of Captain America, Civil War, the movie that's out right now, if you haven't already seen enough of it online, I'm going to share a link on our Facebook page, and it's a bunch of interesting things that are in the movie. They call them Easter eggs. Mm-hmm. So little things that pop up. I was watching this video just maybe 20 minutes ago, and my beautiful bride over here asked me why I was watching the video. She's like, are you even into that? Why are you watching that? I was watching it because I thought it would be fascinating to pass along to people who do care. So Mr. Sunday Movies put out a video, and I'll share that video on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. A woman robs a bank so she can take the money to the courthouse. Did we just share?
Yes.
No, this is a different one because there's that one and there's this one. There's no way they could be the same.
I think it's the same.
What do I have here? Oh, I see. So that was part of the same story. I deleted something in the wrong place. Hey, let's read the next story. Two inmates at Cook County Jail in Illinois managed to swindle as many as 12 people, $9,000 from one person, by calling them at random times and calling them collect, even though the message was in broken English. Automatically, every 60 seconds, it identified the call as coming from jail. They promised to cleanse the callee's non-existent criminal records for a fee. The men have now been indicted. So there was a message that broke in every 60 seconds to let them know that this was coming from jail. They called them collect. We get calls from jail once in a while here. Are those collect? Do we pay for those?
No, they're not collect.
Okay. You sure?
I'm positive.
You've checked the bill?
Yes, John. Okay. They're not collect
I'm
calls.
just wondering now. Will you accept the call? Yeah, I'll accept the call.
That's being made with a calling card. It says right at the very beginning.
Yeah. So I wonder why this lady, I don't know. Anyway, those people had to pay for their calls. Ours come in for free. So there. Rudy toot toot. Hey, I'm going to try to read all the way through a story without making any mistakes. And if I successfully do that, we're going to call this bonus breakdown.
All right, let's do it.
In Port St. Lucie, Florida. Did I say that right?
Probably.
Or Port St. Lucie. Either way. The police responded to a call from a woman who said her landlord had thrown a porcelain bowl at her face.
Oh.
She said she wanted to pursue criminal charges against the man, but she refused medical treatment and the cops couldn't see any injuries. They explained to her the consequences of giving false statements to the police, and she declined to file a report. 6 hours later, she showed up to the police station with a large bruise on her face,
I'm sure she did.
ready to make the report. The officer on duty thought the bruise looked more like a smudge, possibly drawn on her face. He told her to take a tissue and wipe her face. When she did, the bruise miraculously disappeared. She admitted that she had applied mascara to make the mark because she was mad at her landlord for demanding that she pay rent.
Oh, how dare he?
She was arrested and charged with making a false police report. You'd think that she would have learned when they told her in advance, okay,
don't do this.
Doesn't
It's a
sound
bad idea.
legit. If you do this, you're going to get in trouble. And she's like, oh, okay. Let me go home and get some mascara first. That'll teach him.
All kinds of interesting people that make this world go round.
You think I made it through that good enough to just call it quits?
I think we're done. I think we're done here.
You know what? I'm pretty sure NBC News will be calling, looking for a new anchor.
You need a new anchor.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's going to be my gig on the CBS Evening News. Who else can I make fun of? ABC? I don't know. I get them all in there. That's something I've never wanted to be as a newsman.
Okay.
I
thought you said we were done.
Oh, yeah, we are. I always wanted to be Johnny Carson, though. I always thought that'd be a good gig. Maybe it's because I can't read that they didn't hire me.
Maybe.
Hey, the bonus break is brought to you by WinThisOnline.com, where the winning is just the beginning. If you have a business and you'd like to help maybe give away some prizes, and then the nice thing is you get to reach out and offer them a special discount. So some people win prizes, others they might buy it at a discount. So it's a really good way for your business to get a little extra attention, and it's very affordable. All of the details can be found at WinThisOnline.com.